Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. This is going to be a garden tour along with um, my update on the weekend. We went to a buddy's, my boyfriend's buddy from high school. We had a big stampede party, and so we spent the weekend over there. We stayed overnight in our RV. And so, yeah, we're going to chat about that and we're going to have a garden tour. So, I wanted to show you this plant. Um, a lot of my plants, because it didn't get watered yesterday morning because we weren't here Sunday morning, some of them got a little wilty, as you can see from this guy. But I did give him a thorough watering today. So, hopefully, he'll be fine. He absorbed all the water. I even stuck some in the bowl, and the bowl's empty right now. So he absorbed everything. Um, so, yeah, needs a little deadheading. Some of the flowers are spent. Also, if you look under that white chair, look at that. There's a cornflower growing out of the ground. Isn't that beautiful? Just one single purplish blue flower. So there's the peas. And I still haven't done those 3 totes. They still need to be done. There's a lot of work I got to do in the garden. This chair, that's the way I put the chair so it dries when it rains. So that's drying. And so if we go over here, you can see the raspberry. Oop, hold on. I need the handle. There we go. Okay. So there we go. So that little guy, he's kind of growing, kind of just not doing much. This one is beautiful. Still no raspberries on it, but lots of flowers. And then, yes, last week, Scott and I went on some errands on Wednesday. And I ended up buying some plants for the garden. And those are 2 grapevines I bought because I have a very strong feeling that cherry tree did not take those sticks. I did check 2 sticks and the 2 came out so easily, did not root. These tugged a little bit, so I need to dig it out. Dig and check if there's any roots. I doubt very much just because there's no growth. There's nothing new coming out of the bottom, out of the base. So since I strongly believe that it did not take, I decided to buy some grapes. So I need to enrich the soil and plant those grapes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 4 sticks in the tote, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'll have the grape grow up the side, and I'll have like crossbars everywhere so it can climb up over. Where is it? Okay, so up, and then once it gets to about 6 feet, it'll go over and come down. And so it'll be one on either side going up, over, and then they'll cross each other, if you know what I'm saying. So you'll see that in a later video. That I have to do this week. And then these guys, the watermelon and the cantaloupe, I have not put any sticks in yet because I didn't want the soil to dry out. I wanted the leaves to be at a lower level. But now that is established, like the vines are starting to grow, I am going to have to stake them up this week. And I'll have them grow the same way like the grapes. It'll go up, over, and then down. And then there is the 4 o'clocks. They're still only halfway their height, so I don't know. I guess we'll see if they get any taller. I don't see any flower. Well, maybe one or two flowers might be forming. So I don't know if it's going to grow all the way. And then the strawberries, the top middle has like 3 strawberries now. And the bottom has lots of flowers. So as long as they're getting pollinated, we should be getting strawberries pretty quick. And then in this plant pot barrel, I still have this big thing growing and I have no idea what it is. I'll show you the leaves up close. There's no flowers. The stems are not red, so it's not rhubarb. I did end up buying a rhubarb plant, of course, because I wanted a rhubarb here. So I ended up buying one at the nursery. I just got to plant them. And then there's the chamomile. I ended up buying some more mint, but I think I'm not gonna, I don't know that I'm gonna leave it in that container. Mind you, it is a decent depth. Maybe I will leave it in. Too bad I don't have another half barrel I could put it in. And then I did get some spearmint, or that's the peppermint and that's the spearmint. The one in the middle I'm going to end up putting flowers in, the square one. Look up. Way up. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? Those are the poppies. The ones that used to be, whoops. The ones that used to be in the tire. I got white, pink, and red. Aren't they gorgeous? And if you look over that area, that section where the forget-me-nots are, see all those purple flowers? Those are violas. Aren't they beautiful? You get tiny little purple popping out. It's so beautiful. And then my baby's breath, like, holy, the tote is full of baby's breath. It's beautiful. And then I did get from Dollarama some more pots. There are 2 together there. And then over there, laying down, right there, there's 2 plastic copper pots. I do have to drill holes in them because none of them have holes. And then I can start planting. And these are mostly the plants I bought at the greenhouse. So we got a begonia. I think those are marigolds. There's a bumblebee on it. Got some petunias. I got the portulaca, or whatever you call it. I think that's another geranium. Calibracoi. Can you see that? That's what that one is. And there's my geranium right there. And this one's also mine. Tarragon. Another herb, which I don't normally grow. And then this one is salvia. And this one, oh, it doesn't say what it is. So those I have to plant now. And then we can go this way. So there are the tomatoes, which I need to do another tie further up. See, there's flowers here. There's flowers all over on that one. It needs another tie on it. a lot of these need to be tied up, so I'll do that tomorrow. No, this one's not a sucker, so I have another branching out here. And then this one's starting to get taller, and so is that one. Like if we go from here and you look at all the tomatoes, see, those are the lowest one, the determinant. I think this has both determinant and indeterminate, and then these two are indeterminate. And these are going to get pretty tall. Sorry, I just had to move something that was behind me. So there's the tomatoes. They're getting taller and taller all the time. And then there's the lilac. And yeah, I still got to do those stones. We were gone for the weekend, so I didn't do anything. I still got to plant the perennials. And then here is the squash. All my squash. There's a little bit of cleanup has to be done in there. I don't know if I mentioned on past videos, but when it comes to zucchini, which is what these squash are, zucchini, wherever there is a flower, any of the leaves that are below the flower, you can remove, as long as you don't remove like 6 leaves, you know what I mean, like tons of them. You can remove the lower leaves and it will just keep growing taller and taller. And what some people do, because zucchini produces so quickly and so much, it ends up with a stem on the bottom, and you can actually stake it up. And some people have like a foot or 2 feet of bare stem because they remove the lower leaves, anything below the flower. And then when the flower goes a little higher, they remove the next row of leaves. And so by doing that, you end up with a stem, and you can actually stake them so that they keep growing upwards. And so I do need to go in and tweak it a bit. I have not gotten any fruit left yet, but there's definitely 1 or 2 that I could pick. So there's that one. Oh, I guess you need to be lower there. So that one has not produced anything yet. The flowers have finally started. This one, I need to show you. You need to see what we got in this one. Look at that. That one I could already pick. I could let it go a little more, but I could pick it too. Like this one's, and here too, we've got a whole bunch of new ones. So this one is going to be my big producer. And then over here, there is a white one, a round one. Not ready to pick yet. It's still quite small, but... And then we've got more flowers in here. There's more zucchini starting. These are the round varieties. And then if you look over there, right there, you see that yellow flower? Well, right attached to it, below it, there is a zucchini, also yellow. And then there's another one right next to it, a little one. Can you see that? So the zucchini is definitely starting. And that one yellow round one, I'll probably be harvesting this week. So it's starting. And then if we go around this way. So right there is the lily of the valley. That I suspect is strawberry, but I'm not sure. And there's a whole bunch more poppy, but these are all the, looks like an orangey red color. Still have some weeding to do here. The ones at the very front, right over here, no, that's the strawberry. Where is it? Oh, over there, right there. Those are, I'm assuming, is the Shasta daisy from last year. And then here, same thing. Right around here somewhere is the Shasta daisy and the raspberry. And then the hollyhocks, which I have to put the delphinium in there. Like these 4 still need to be planted. And I think this week is going to be my week of gardening. I got lots to do in the garden, especially since we bought those new plants on Wednesday. Last Wednesday we bought all those new plants. So yeah, there's lots of work for me to do in the garden. This week is going to be a very busy garden week. As long as we don't get too much rain. I can handle overcast and light rain, as long as it's not heavy rain. And then these guys are still not doing too good. The peppers are not very happy. But the eggplant is doing good. Like, check this out. They're getting there. They're starting. And that one pepper over there, right there, that one, he seems to be starting to grow now. I did cheat though. When we went to the garden center, look what I did buy. That one and that one. I did end up buying 2 pepper plants at the store. And that one has grown probably another 2 inches since Wednesday. They seem to like the little pots. Like, look at all the fruit on this one. You can see all those dots. Those are all flowers that are going to fruit. They like little pots. So these barrels, probably way too big for them. They can't get their roots established. Maybe they like being pot bound. If you look at that, that's what I'm getting out of it. Small pot, growing more above ground. See, every plant is different. You really need to, if you're going to do, whether it's house plants or vegetables or whatever, you need to pay attention to the plant. Because when I planted it in one of those Rubbermaid containers like that, one year, I had like 4 of those containers. And I had 4 pepper plants in each of the containers. And I thought, well, they need that. Oh, there's actually a container with a tag on it, so I can look how many liters it is. But anyways, see, I get distracted so easily. Yeah, so I had 4 of those containers with 4 bell pepper plants in each of the containers. And I got no fruit that year, and they barely grew. You look at those 2 guys. They're in a small pot, but they have a lot of upper growth. Well, the one has a lot of greenery, and the other one is starting to produce flowers. But my point being, they maybe like to be pot bound. They like a small pot. So this year we're going to test out that theory. I have how many bell peppers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of my own bell peppers. You know, I've got 4 of those brown pots. So what we're going to do, we're going to put 2 of my plants in each of those pots. And then those two, I'm going to find 2 other pots, not too big, that I'm going to plant them in. So we're going to have 6 pots in total, but that size, like those brown ones or smaller. And we're going to see how, fast the peppers grow. If the lack of space is, what they're going to like. And if that's the case, then we know. Don't ever plant them in such big buckets anymore. But that's what gardening's all about. It's trial and error. Try this, try that. You know what I mean? Eggplants seem fine, so I probably won't touch those. And the hot peppers, I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to experiment with the bell peppers because there's a lot of those plants. Anyways, we should move on. Time is running. You know how I can talk. Talk. Anyways, herbs, they're alive. They are growing slowly. They haven't really taken off. So, okay, though it is warmer weather now. So hopefully, sorry, didn't position the camera. Hopefully, they'll take off now that it's warmer out. And those are some more pots I bought. I bought 2 of those and then 2 of those blue ones. The blue ones actually have a tray. The other ones don't. You have to drill holes in it. All right, then we're going to come over this way and look at the island. So there's the marigolds, the violas, and the alyssum. See, the alyssum, it's starting to have more white flowers. It's starting to fill in. Whoops. And the zinnia there in that blue round one, the flowers are just about ready to open. There's 2 flowers that look like they'll be blooming in the next day or 2. And then, of course, the pumpkin. I don't know if you can see in between, right in there, there's a pumpkin. The one, it's getting bigger. And then the borage. Oh, we got bees buzzing on it. Happy, happy bees. So many clumps of flowers. See, a lot of things in the garden, it just takes time. All right, and then I have to weed that one, the leek. I also have to start adding soil because with leek, and I think with the green onions also, you're supposed to, you plant it and let it grow, and then you start adding soil to it so that the bottom 2-inch, or like a good portion of the bottom, turns white. Because it does not get the sunlight, it turns white. And that's why leek has that big section on the bottom that's white. And I think the green onions is the same. It's because you're supposed to add soil, not a whole lot, but you add a bit of soil every now and then, and so then it doesn't turn green because it doesn't get sun. It goes white. So I got to weed it, and I've got to add some soil to that one and the other one. And here are the carrots. They're growing good. And that one too. And as you can see, we got some chamomile in with the carrots. So you got one right there. And I think here on the edge, there's another one. Those are chamomile. But it is actually a planter full of carrot seeds. So most of that is carrots. And if you look, see, different carrots have different color. They look a little different, but they're both carrots. And then the beets there on the corner, well, what can I say? The birds like the beet leaves. And then there's the leek and the celery. It's starting to grow upwards now. It's gonna probably another, what, a week or so. I need to do some weeding in there. I see some weeds. But probably another week or two, and it should be as tall as a celery stalk, a bunch of celery. And then there's a bee buzzing around. I don't want to bother him. Then here is the little tomatoes. And you can see there's a bunch of flowers on it there and over there. It's starting to produce a bunch of flowers. Oh, did I not water him this morning? Or did he dry out already? No, I'm sure I watered him because I have my routine. I'm going to have to give him some more water. His soil's really dry and I need my cherry tomatoes. And you can see in this one how much the weeds. Look at all the weeds. All that's weeds. All of it. So you're constantly weeding when you have a garden. And that's just the nature of the beast. And then here is the broccoli, which is out of season because it's warm. They don't like the warmth. But we'll see. If we keep it going, maybe in the fall when the weather gets cooler, maybe it'll start producing some broccoli heads if it survives through the summer. And then there is the garlic chives and what I thought was cosmos. Well, I guess it's not cosmos. Cosmos and chamomile look similar. And so maybe that's why I thought it was cosmos. But look at that. And that has the same flower formation, the same one on this one here. It's going to flower. So because it's chamomile, I'll just pull them. Because chamomile will spread, and we don't want that, right? And then because we were gone, that, which is just in a peat pot, dried out. I didn't water it yesterday morning because I wasn't here. So I doused it with water today, but that really needs to be planted in there. The dianthus is going really, really nice. The little dianthus over there, that's a different variety. That one doesn't seem to be doing too good. This one seems to be doing better. And this one is the perennial one, whereas in the center, that's the annual. And then you got the pak choi. And boy, are the insects happy with that one. Oh, look at that. We got a butterfly. Can you see it right around here? Somewhere in here. There's a butterfly. It's black and white. I've never had a butterfly on my flowers before. Has some red on his head, on his face. Isn't that beautiful? He's looking for nectar, I guess. Well, hopefully the bees didn't eat all the nectar. Oh, that's just so fascinating. I love watching it. And I don't want to pass by that side because I don't want to bother him. I've never seen one that color, black and white with orange on the head and face. It's like an orangey red. Yeah, he's moving around looking for nectar. Oh, he must have found some. He's not moving. Isn't that fascinating? So beautiful. Anyways, we do need to move on. It's already been half hour. So, there's the 3 herbs on the other side. Well, yeah, I think they're all herbs. Sage, stevia. Is stevia classified as an herb? I think so. And then the rosemary. We'll move down this way so we don't bother that butterfly. So there we go. Those 3. And then over on the other side there, in that container, we've got the geranium and the coneflower. And the coneflower is just going and going. And what we'll do is we'll go this way so we don't bother the butterfly. And I wanted to show you, out of the grass grows baby's breath. And that's exactly where the baby's breath was last year. So I'm thinking it must have gone to seed and then dropped some seeds on the ground. And yes, you know, this garden, I could very easily build a garden bed and garden right in the ground. But because of my back, I rather garden in containers because they're higher off the ground, and even being bent over, I can hold on to the containers if I need to. And I'm not bending all the way down to the ground or going down on my knees and then having trouble getting up. So that's why I choose to plant in containers. It's a lot easier on your back and your knees. And then over here, this is the cosmos. See, it kind of looks like chamomile, or it could be carrots, but this is definitely cosmos. That's what I planted in there. Oops, sorry. Bad photographer again. Oh my God, these ants. I have to do my ant mix. They're all over, running around. I'm going to have to do a video on the ants. My mix that I use for the ants to kill them. Because they're getting out of hand. They're going all over the place. Maybe I'm near their nest. That's why there's so many scurrying. Anyways, yeah, so that's the cosmos. And as you can see, it could be mistaken for chamomile. It could be mistaken for carrots. And then next to that is the milkweed, which is still not doing very well. I'm thinking of digging it up and putting it in a smaller container, and then using this container for something, one of the flowers I bought, like maybe put 2 or 3 in there. Same with over here. I took all the weeds out. That's the nasturtium. This is probably a weed, but all the other weeds I pulled out. And this is the only thing that's the nasturtium that's growing. The other seeds must have been too old, because I know some of my seeds are like 3-4 years old, and some plants can it'll be fine that long, but others won't. Not everything will survive that long. And then here we got the peas. And we're getting some peas. It's flat, but it will fatten up. And there's there, and there was another one over here somewhere. There's a whole bunch of them, but they haven't fattened up yet. They are peas, so the pods will get fat. And then, of course, on the bottom, we got the violas. I thought they were pansies. Remember I was saying about how we're going to have a whole bunch of pansies in here? Well, no, it looks like they're violas. Which would make sense. They have similar leaf patterns. You know what I mean? They're the same probably group of genius variety. And then over here, I think tomorrow I'm going to pull that tomato plant, those two. And then if you look, ooh, right there, there's a real big, where is it? Okay, there's that and that. Nope, so it's over here. There's the stick. So it's right up in this area here, somewhere in here. There's a few of them that are really long. One that's starting to get fat, but it's not there yet. So they're finally starting. And it looks like those on the bottom might be violas, not pansies. They might be violas. Okay, which way am I going? Okay, this way. All right, so now we'll go up on the deck. We'll pass the gerbera, whatever you call that thing. And we'll go up on the deck. I still have to put this netting, pack it up, put it away. I'm not going to need it anymore. So, there we go. Geraniums are about to bloom. The one in the purple pot is lavender. I'm thinking maybe it's getting too much shade from the geranium. I don't think that pot will fit. So I'm going to have to figure something out for the lavender to get more sun. And look at the baby's breath. Like, look how big it is. They're just so beautiful. And you can cut them and put them in vases, in a vase with a flower. And then, oh yeah, then there's this side here. There's the pansies and the fuchsia, and then my azalea, which I have to deadhead, so it'll produce some new flowers. I see one new flower bud. But yeah, the other ones I can cut off. And then there's the garden. So those are the peppers, the island. Tomatoes are over there. And then there's bird sanctuary area. Yeah, and I did buy those trellises too. When we passed it, I forgot to mention. Those trellises right there by the strawberries. There's 3 different ones there. I got them, you know, just to put as borders on some plants, like the chamomile. You see how it's just keeling right over onto the grass? Well, I was thinking I could use one there, kind of tie it up. Or I have little green fences I could use too, just to keep the chamomile up, so that we can trim the grass around the barrel. And then I could always use some over here too, like for the borage. Instead of having that green border, maybe I can put a pretty white one or black one or something. Or in the garden, when the hollyhocks gets bigger, and when I plant the delphinium and it gets bigger, I could even use it in that corner for them. They're gonna be in that corner right there. right over here. The hollyhocks are there already, and I gotta plant the delphinium. So cross your fingers that this is a good garden week and I can record getting a lot of this stuff done. And yeah, so I will leave you at that. The garden is filling in. Oh, there's the birds at the water fountain. Oh, he just flew onto the thing on the side there. He's drinking water. Little cutie. I filled up those bird feeders before I went on the camping trip. And look at them, they're all 3 empty. I don't know if they just dumped it to the ground, or maybe the squirrel tried to eat from it and was hanging and knocked a bunch of it out, or if the birds did it. Those 3 containers were full when we left on Saturday morning. Like Saturday morning I filled it up. We left Saturday like afternoon, early afternoon. And yeah, we're Monday. Where'd all the seeds go? All right, everybody, I will let you go. Oh, yeah, Saturday and Sunday, we stayed overnight Saturday night at his friend's acreage for a big stampede celebration, which he does every year. And so I do have photos of the whole setup. I have a 20-minute clip of the fireworks, and I still need to do a tour of our RV trailer, our travel trailer. So keep an eye out. Those will be coming. I'll probably put the photos into a video, and then I'll probably do the fireworks separate because it's a 20-minute clip. Yeah, but those, I didn't do any of it today because when you, as some of you know, when you go camping and you sleep in a travel trailer, I don't know about the RVs, the motorhomes, those you probably get better sleep in. But with a travel trailer, we have a hybrid, as you saw on an earlier video a while back. I did the outside, and so the 2 beds pop out. It's a hybrid, and so you don't get as good a sleep. So when we came home yesterday, we were both exhausted. Like, Scott was asleep before he normally falls asleep, and I was just so tired. I barely moved. So we both got one night good sleep, but we still feel tired today and drained. Don't forget, we were also in a lot of sun. We got a lot of sun exposure. And then when you're not used to interacting and mingling with people, and you know what I mean, like you do something that you're not used to. Since COVID, we haven't gone out and mingled a lot. It's just like this summer starting. And so, yeah, just everything, the whole process, we thoroughly enjoyed. Don't get us wrong. We love it. We want to do it again. We will be going to Fairmont Hot Springs soon. And we are planning other trips. We do thoroughly enjoy it. It's just, this was our first, like, I've never gone camping in an RV. And Scott probably hasn't for what, 10 years. So this was our first one, our first trip in a long time for me ever. And so it's all a learning process, and it is very tiring. Once you get the knack and everybody has their routine, it just go and everything's great. But so we're still recuperating today. So tomorrow I'll be back to par. So I'll do some, as long as it's not raining, I will do some work in the garden, record it for the next few days until everything's done. And yeah, so look out for that. That's coming. And garden work and the camping trip. And so, on that note, I will let you go. Do what makes you happy, and everything else will fall into place. Take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.